Hi everyone, my name is Victor and I am one of the authors of TechNeed. Today we're going to continue with our course and we're going to be looking at using Ansible handlers. So what is Ansible handlers? Say for example, you need to make some modification to your configuration file. So say you have like the Nginx configuration file and you need to make some changes to that file. Normally, when you make changes to a configuration file, the ideal thing is that you restart the services so that the changes that you've made would take effect. So with the use of handlers, handlers can help you to do that. So handlers work in a way that, okay, if I make a changes, if this changes is successful, then you can call onto the handlers to make you restart the the services rather that is attached to that configuration file. However, if the changes is not successful, then handlers will not even bother itself to run. So handlers is always based on the fact that, okay, if there's a changes made and you call onto the handler, of course, handlers will help you to do whatever thing you say you should do. Say, for example, it will help you to restart the services of the configuration files that you've made. So that's just basically how handlers work. So it is safe to just say that Ansible handler is an Ansible task that is called by another Ansible task with the use of the notify keyword. So with the notify keyword as in NOTIFY. Sorry, don't mind my writing. With the use of the notify keyword, all right, handlers would work. So let's see an example of how to do this. In this example, we're going to allow the HTTP service on the firewall rule. So to do that, we need to create the playbook as usual, and we'll go to the Ansible directory, and this is because we have the Ansible configuration file in this directory. So we're going to create the 10th playbook. So you can say playbook 10.yml. I'm going to give the play a name, and in the name I can say allow services on firewall hosts on HQS. This should be done on HQS step 1.technique.com, and task, I'm going to give the task a name, and the name is allow HTTP services on firewall, and I'm going to use the firewall D module to do this. And the name of the argument, which is the name of the service, is HTTP, followed by another state argument, which is enabled, followed by permanent. This is going to be true, followed by immediate. So I want this to happen immediately, which is going to be true. And like I said, you can call on to an handler with a notify keyword, and you can see the alignment of the notify keyword. You can see the indentation. So with the notify keyword, I'm going to be calling onto the handler. So this is going to be the name of the handler. So because I'm going to name the handler restart firewall, so I'm just going to say notify, which is, if this is true, I want you to restart firewall. So which means if this operation works, then you should call on to the handler. So let's now create the handler section. So I can just give this another space if I like. Under task, like I said, indentation matters in writing a playbook. This is where you're going to be having your handlers. And here, you can give it a name, which is going to be restart firewall. So this is the name of the handler. So don't forget, on the notify keyword, this has to be the same because they're saying that you should notify this name, which is restart firewall. All right. So under the name, you're also going to have the service, which is the name firewall D and the state, which is restarted. So the first task, we allow the HTTP service on the firewall, and because the firewall service needs to be restarted after the changes, the notify directive here is going to notify the handler to restart the firewall this service if these changes that are made here is successful. So if these changes is not successful, then the handler will not run. So normally we could have actually created a separate task to restart the firewall these services, but let's just assume that you have a lot of tasks. You have tasks where you would need to change things in the configuration file, and some tasks where you would need to add some services in the configuration file. I mean, say you have 10 tasks. So are you going to have each task to always restart the services that are attached to what you've changed? I mean, that is going to be tedious, and I mean that is not even going to be smart enough. But with the use of handler, you can have several tasks, and you can just have one handler that is going to help you to always restart whatever services that you've made changes to. And that is why handlers is very important in writing playbooks. The notify keyword would always reference the handlers. You should also know that Ansible handlers is used at a task level and not at a plate level, and will only run once when it is called. The only time a keyword that is referencing a handler can be used at a play level is when you need to force an handler. So, for example, you can use the word that, oh, you need to force an handler, then you can use the keyword force handler equals yes. So something of this nature, you can just say force handlers equals yes. So you can use this keyword to force handlers, and this can be used at a play level. But if you want to use handlers can never be used at a play level. It can only be used at a task level. So now we can save this file, and we can do a syntax check. Oops. I wanted to do a syntax check. I can see that I've already started running the playbook. Well, that's fine. Let's see what happens. So this is fine. This has already been enabled on hksdev1.technique.com, and that's why you can see that this is green, and you can see that the handler did not even work because changes were not made. And you see what I've always said, that handlers will not run unless a change is made to the task that is calling the handler. And just because there are no changes that are made to the task that is calling the handler, you can see that this handler here, you can't say anything like handler here, handler did not run. So let's edit this playbook. Let me look for a task that is going to actually call onto this handler. Which service can we add here? Which service? Alright, let me do something. Let me look for the predefined services, so I can just do firewall cmd. So let me just look for some predefined services that I can add. There are a lot of them. Let me pick ISNS or DHCP. So let's pick DHCP. So let me edit this playbook again. I'm going to pick the DHCP service. Okay, so let's save this playbook and let's run this playbook. Alright, so there's a changes. Alright, so this is fine. So you can see that the DHCP services has been allowed on the firewall, and that's why you're seeing the yellow color here, like we've always established. And you can see that because that changes was possible, the handler to run, and that's why you can see that that task called onto this handler, and the firewall these services was restarted, and that's why you can see changed color here. So this is fine. And you can also, you can also learn about firewall. If you really want to learn about firewall, we have a detailed course on firewall. Like, you will really understand how firewall works in Linux. So you can just, go to technique.com, or even on your Google search, just type firewall technique. It will bring out the firewall course. On the course, you can click on the documentation, and from the documentation you can also check the video. The documentation will of course lead you to the video. So you have different lessons here on the website, on the YouTube channel. You can always learn from them. So this is how you use handlers in Ansible playbook. And I'm going to say at this junction, thank you for watching, and please don't forget to subscribe to this channel, like our videos, share our videos, comment. When you do this, you're going to help us to do more. You're going to help us to bring out more courses, and that's how you're going to help us to always help you guys too. All right. Thank you once more, and bye for now. Also, you can do the class activity on the website. As usual, I'm going to be dropping the link to the website to this particular lesson in the description section below, so you can easily navigate through and follow through. Thanks once more. Bye.